Hey, Backstage. Hey, everybody. Just setting up my camera here. Say hello. I'm Bret Shuford, Broadway actor, Broadway Life Coach. As you come in here, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Give me a little heart emoji or a thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me okay. I'm coming to you from Houston, Texas, of all places. I've got my Keep Calm I'm the Understudy t-shirt on. For those of you that don't know me, I am an actor who's currently in the Broadway cast of Wicked. Other Broadway credits include the original cast of The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, multiple other Broadway shows. I've also, as an actor, been on Law and Order, SVU, The Good Fight, and The Wolf of Wall Street, among other independent films. And today we're going to talk about 7 mindsets to try to adopt for ourselves as actors and artists in 2021. So as I said, I am a Broadway actor, Broadway life coach, and I am a certified life coach. And I love to help actors and artists find and navigate a path that is fulfilling, that gives them a sense of security, and also authenticity when it comes to marketing and branding themselves, so that there's none of this icky salesy stuff that can happen if we kind of lose track of our purpose. And so mindset, really, I think it all starts with mindset. Just going to say hi to people as they come in. Make sure as you join in, you say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're coming from. Hi, Mackenzie in Long Island. I miss New York City. So the story is this, and you should come follow me on Instagram if you don't. But the story is this: the shutdown happened in March. My husband, Stephen Hanna, is a ballet dancer, Broadway actor as well. And he got offered a job in Houston, which is where I'm from. So when the Broadway shutdown happened, we have been based out of Texas until Broadway comes back. It's 2020, y'all. That's just how this year has gone. If you don't follow us, check us out at Broadway Husbands as well. We have a lifestyle Instagram account and blog where we share about our journey. So what's up, UK? What's up, Atlanta? What's up, New York? I miss my hometown, New York. What's up, Jacksonville? Cool. So nice to meet you guys. Bridgeport. So we're going to talk about 7 mindsets, but this is actually part of a free 14-day actor mindset reset journey that I came up with Coloring Broadway. If you don't know Coloring Broadway, you can actually get these free coloring pages and do a 14-day actor mindset reset journey. It's totally free at actormindsetreset.com. But we're going to talk about 7 of the mindsets that I think are super important for us, especially right now, so that we can really enter the new year in a place where we feel focused and motivated and excited, because there is a lot of craziness and insecurity that has come up this year, as we all know. So how do we enter this year in a stronger place? It's going to start with up here. How are we thinking? Let me just say hi to some people. How did your life coach training? I'll take questions at the end. So I'll save that question for when we're done talking. So, hey, from Russia, what's up? Okay, so the first one that I want to talk about is what I call starting messy, right? Learn how to start messy. So many of us get stuck in what I call preparing to get ready to begin, where we think we have to take all these classes and these courses, and we got to meet these right people, or we got to learn the right song and put the right book together, or we got to learn all the tricks of Instagram and Instagram Reels and TikTok and all these things. And, you know, once I know how to do it, then I'll make the stuff. And I call that preparing to get ready to begin. Get into a mode and a mindset of just starting messy, being willing to not do something great, so that by doing it, you get better. Because if we're always in this phase of getting ready to prepare to begin, we're never going to actually begin. So start messy. That is one of my favorites. So right now, if you've been thinking about making that thing or writing that thing or posting that post or making that video, instead of thinking about it, just do it. Just do it, just commit. One of the biggest things for me I did in 2016, I was in the Broadway show Paramour, and I made a commitment that year. I was going to make a video a week on my YouTube channel for an entire year. And when I honor my commitments to myself, if I say I'm going to do something, I feel good about myself. I feel confident. I feel secure. And that doesn't mean it's easy. That doesn't mean that I did it. I did a video a week for an entire year. And it was a lot of work. There were weeks where I was literally cramming it in the last minute, but I honored my commitment. And some of those videos are horrible, and they're still on my YouTube channel. You can go see them. It doesn't matter, right? I honored my commitment and I followed through. And by doing that, I've gotten better. And my video count my videos have improved, and I've gotten more followers, right? So really being willing to just start. So I want you to think about, what can you commit to for yourself to do consistently in 2021, and can you just start and not get caught up in the perfection, right? Because perfection is the enemy of good. All right, the second mindset I want you to start to think about is what I call FOPO, fear of other people's opinions. This happens a lot on social media, or especially when it comes to promoting. If we start thinking about promoting our craft or promoting something that we've created, or letting people know that we are artists and that we want to work, we can get into this, oh God, if I post that, what are those people going to think? The way to move on from FOPO, besides just starting messy and not caring, is to remember that remember why you do what you do. When we forget why we do what we do as an actor, what our purpose is, our why, as Simon Sinek, if you've never seen his TED Talk, says, our why. If we forget why we do what we do, then we're just trying to do things that please everybody, right? But when we know why we do what we do, why we serve, who we serve, and we're speaking directly to that person in our content, in the auditions that we do, it is so much easier to let go of what other people think, because now we're serving someone. You solve a problem for someone, whether you entertain them, you lift up their spirits, you inspire them, you educate them, whatever that is, you have an opportunity to do that today. And every day that you don't do that, that person doesn't hear what they need to hear. So the way to move on from FOPO is to remember who you serve and why you serve them. All right. Number 3, we're going to talk about auditioning. Yeah, a lot of us aren't auditioning. Some of us are getting self-tapes, but there's not a lot of auditioning happening, really, especially in the theater world. But one of the things I want you to start to think about is auditioning really is not about when you let go of trying to book the job, right? Auditioning, a lot of us think that we audition to book work. And on paper, yes, that's true, right? On paper, like, that's what an audition is. But the purpose of an audition, or the way to think and change your mindset about an audition, is to realize that auditionings are about building relationships. Every time you show up at an audition or a workshop or a class, it is a chance to connect with another human being, a human being who wants to connect with your craft, right? But they also want to connect with who you are as a human being, right? So understanding that casting directors are human beings, and every audition and every opportunity we have to go into a room or self-tape is a chance to connect with them and build a relationship. And we let go of booking the job and know that strengthening the relationship over time, booking work will become a result of that, right? So auditioning is not about booking the job. It is about building relationships. And this whole industry is built on relationships. All right, the 4th mindset I want you to think about is kind of connected to that, right? Don't be an actor robot. Be a human being. The people who are the most successful in this business are the people who balance their credibility and their vulnerability, right? The people who can come into an audition, show their skill set, but also be vulnerable enough to share who they are as a human being are the people who succeed the longest, right? So that means that balancing your skill set, you train, right? But then when someone asks you how you're doing, you're able to say, I am doing not so great. I'm depressed. I lost, my puppy, or I'm doing great. I went for an amazing walk and took a yoga class, and I read this amazing book. And you get to be vulnerable and share who you are and the things that you are interested in is when you actually make a stronger human connection. So don't be an actor robot. If someone asks you how you're doing, what are you up to lately? Don't just list off your resume and the things that, that you've had callbacks for. Tell them who you are as a human being. Be vulnerable enough to share that, and you'll see that your relationships will strengthen even deeper in this industry. All right. The next mindset reset I want you to think about is related to creating content, really, and how we can market ourselves. I love marketing and I love social media. I love creating content. Not everyone loves it, and I get that. So this is the way. This is the way. I sound like the Mandalorian, right? This is the way. But right now, in order to build relationships in this industry, we have to be willing to to manifest ourselves digitally in some form, right? Whatever you choose to do, if it's Instagram, if it's YouTube, whatever it is, you have to be willing to plant seeds. You got to plant seeds through meeting people, through workshops, through creating content, however that is. But what so many of us do is we'll take a workshop, we'll go to an audition, and we'll never follow through. We'll never engage or send a thank you or find the people to be auditioned for on social media and try to connect with them. And so I use this metaphor that's like planting seeds and then sitting by the garden, waiting for them to grow, right? You're not watering them. And the truth is, like, you water them by staying in touch. But what I want you to encourage you to do in 2021 is to not just water the seeds that you've planted over the years, but be the sun. That means that when you are the sun, you are creating things, you are shining, you are putting things out into the world that fully encapsulate the essence and the experience of you, right? Whatever form of content you're creating. When you are shining like the sun, the flowers will come to you, right? So I want to encourage you to be the sun. Plant the seeds, water them, of course, but shine like the sun. Start messy, right? Okay, I love that metaphor. I think it's super powerful. And we're going to get into the last two mindsets I want you to think about for 2021. The next one is something that I believe wholeheartedly, and that is that we have to change our definition of success. Many people who come into this industry are coming from families and people who work in what I call muggle industries, right? They're muggles. They aren't necessarily part of this freelance creative lifestyle that being an actor and being a performer is. And also, I just want to say, if you're getting a lot out of this, let me know in the comments. Let me know how this is going for you. Either leave an emoji or let me know. So we have families and we have people in our systems that have told us that success is about getting a Tony Award or getting an Oscar or booking that major motion picture or making your full income as an actor, right? But success cannot be measured that way in this industry. Thank you. Yes, great. Right. Success has to be redefined for us because we can't control so many of those elements, right? We don't just get in an entry-level position and slowly work our way up to becoming a manager. right? We get to choose the path we want to pursue, but we ultimately don't get to decide if we're right for the show. We don't ultimately get to decide if we have the right look, the right eye color, the right height, whatever that is. So success lies not in the results that you make, it lies in the actions you take. We have to measure our success every day by, did I do something today? Did I take action today that's going to bring me one step closer to where I want to be? Either through creating content, through reaching out to people, through showing up to class prepared. Am I showing up? Because the way I do anything is the way I do everything. So am I showing up in a way that allows me to feel successful? And if I can check off at the end of the day that I've done something, 1, 2 things today to get me a step closer to where I want to be, I am successful. And then we let go of the results, right? Okay. And this is the last mindset I want you to start to think about. Of course, there's 7 more on the Actor Mindset Reset journey. So make sure you join that. It's a video training series, actormindsetreset.com. But this is the last one, and that is that little wins add up to big wins, right? This is really the concept of gratitude, right? There's a reason these cheesy phrases last, right? Have an attitude of gratitude. It's because they work. And every day when we are taking action towards our dream, we are being successful, we have to acknowledge those things. You cannot build on success you don't acknowledge. And so no matter how small that success is, we have to acknowledge it. We have to appreciate it. We have to be willing to celebrate it, because then we can build up to the bigger wins. So every day, are you taking action? Even just by being on this call, you are taking action. That is success. By connecting with somebody else, by working on your voice, by working on your audition technique, by reaching out to people in the industry that you've met, that you want to stay in touch with, that you want to continue to connect with, you are being successful. And that is a win. And by winning on that, you can, and acknowledging that win, you can then build on it. I know for me, there are times in my career where the most, the smallest things, especially right now, that I can be grateful for are just being able to be healthy today, right? And maybe I sang through a couple songs from my book and then I put it away for the day, but that was a successful day, right? And if I acknowledge that I had the courage and the willingness to do that, tomorrow I can build on it. Tomorrow, what else can I do that will add to that? And intentionally every day, we acknowledge those things. All right, those are the 7, I think, essential 7 mindsets we all need to adopt this coming year. When we just start to think about how you can implement those, set an intention for yourself. Also, take a little time to think about what wasn't working for you in 2020 and how can you let go of those things so that you can allow space in the new year to let new mindsets and new thoughts and new habits enter your life. I'd love to share that with you, share that journey with you. Please come join the Actor Mindset Reset so that I can do that. I'm going to open this up to questions. And so please feel free to type in here what questions or thoughts you have around these. Which one stands out to you the most? What do you hope to see for yourself in 2021, or even for our community of artists and actors? So let me scroll back up here and see. Catalina said, how did your life coach training impact your life the most in regards of your acting? And also, do you have any clients you coach currently to use your training? Great question, Catalina. Yes, I coach privately currently. I have taught a couple courses, but it has really been, for me, becoming a life coach was a natural fit. It just was a natural evolution. It happened. People were coming to me for guidance. And I decided to get certified only because I thought it would be a great way to supplement my income when I wasn't doing a show. And thank God it's been such a blessing to have had this job really during COVID, because I've been able to help a lot of people, and I love helping people. It's really pure joy for me. Cool. I love that Mackenzie says she calls them muggles too. Absolutely. It makes the most sense. I'm so glad Cindy got a mic for voiceover. That's great. One of my life mottos is literally gratitude is my attitude. Yep. You got to have an attitude of gratitude every day. If you're not acknowledging the things to be grateful for, you're going to miss out on the next day being able to build up to more. How do you keep a mindset of confidence and determination and knowing you can become a successful actor? So that's a great question. I think the most important mindset of confidence, right? It doesn't, so first off, letting go of the idea that you're supposed to be confident 100% of the time. You're never going to be 100% confident 100% of the time. Okay. So knowing that you're going to have down days, and there's days where you're going to need to be gentle, and there are days where you're going to be really boosting yourself up. All right. So just trust that. The second thing to have a really clear is to have a clear vision of where you want to go. I believe that my success on Broadway has really only been connected to, of course, skill, training, and talent. I mean, of course, doing that training and having the ability to do 8 shows a week is not an easy feat. So you need to be training, right? Number one. But the second thing is I always had a vision. I had a vision of what my life, not just what me being on stage, but what being on stage on Broadway was going to provide in my life. Meaning, what was it going to be like when I got home? Who was I? What was my life going to look like? What kind of income would I have? What kind of clothes would I wear? I had a vision of my life. So having a really clear vision of where you want to go, right? So many of us can just be like, I want to be an actor. I want to be a working actor. It's very vague, because you could be a working actor, be non-union at a dinner theater, and that works for some people, right? But is that going to be what you really want? Right? Is that enough money? Like, so getting really clear about your vision, because once you know where you want to go, it doesn't matter what obstacles get in the way, you'll be able to move around them because you know where you're headed. Mackenzie, I'm a senior in college for musical theater. What's your advice for starting out my career while everything is online right now? Mackenzie, keep training, right? Keep working on relationships. Those are the like 2 base essential things. But if anything, I would say establish an online presence. Make it clear that you are a creator. You don't need right? You don't need permission from the flowers to be the sun. Start to create. It doesn't mean that you have to write or you have to direct. You can literally go find people you know who do write and who direct and say, let's make something. Let's create something. Let's put our stamp on something and put your essence and your energy out into the world. That would be the biggest suggestion I would make right now. Rose says, I'm sad Broadway is closed. I'm sad too. I'm really sad too. I miss it. Savannah, I'm practicing every day. Will I get a coach to help me out to reduce stress and be confident about it? I'm practicing every day. Will I get a coach? It's totally up to you. I mean, you know, some people have the skills to be able to manage their stress. So it's really a personal choice. My little victory from today, I finally bought myself some lights for self-tapes, learning and filming a new self-tape every 2 weeks. That's so great. And getting sides and really filming yourself and watching yourself, which I think is the next level, being willing to watch yourself, good or bad, and learn from your own self-tapes and see how you can continue to improve. Man, if you can get that disciplined right now, you will be so far ahead of so many people out there. My favorite job at a theater was a production assistant. I love being available for everyone else and becoming a better actor, learning from others. Yeah, it's great. Like being able to do as many things within the industry as possible, you can learn so much. And right now is a great opportunity to learn some new skills as well, right? Could we get into the character in a short time when you're auditioning, just reading the script once or twice? Could we get into the character in a short time? Well, you can get into a version of the character. It may not be what the end result, if you had rehearsal time and time to prepare, but you can gather as much information from the text as possible and then make choices, right? Make your own decisions about what would make that character interesting. Especially in a cold reading, you get to kind of try something that would be wild, that no one would expect. These are great questions, you guys. I'm going to stick around for 5 more minutes. So what other questions do you have? Rose said she's working with Elena Shadow, who's an amazing singer. Amazing singer. That's excellent. Really, I want to encourage you all right now, being that it's the last week of 2020, take the time off this week to go inward. Really set an intention for yourself for the new year and look at what worked and what didn't work in this last year for you personally that you can release, let go of, or intentionally set some wheels in motion that will move you forward. One of my favorite little big victories I had this year was putting together my monologue book. Oh, excellent. I want to try and film some as well. Kelsey, don't try, just do it, right? Start messy. Kelsey, just start filming your monologues. That's so great that you put your book together. To get back into auditioning during the pandemic, are there certain roles that we should be looking at? I'm struggling with the most appropriate way to start, right? Well, Brianna, first off, this goes back to what I said, start messy, right? Are there certain roles that we should be looking at? You should be looking at the roles that you're right for. And so what I would do if I were you is I would look at the TV shows or the types of shows that you're drawn to and see if you can find sides or scripts for those films or those plays, and just try. Just try putting yourself on tape, watching it. Set a goal for yourself to film yourself maybe once a week for the next 3 months. Sometimes you're going to miss the mark and sometimes you're totally going to get it. Sometimes the role may not be a great fit. Doesn't matter. You schedule it and you set an intention for yourself to do that, and your confidence will grow because you followed through. Cindy says, what advice do you have to network with people? Well, I have a whole course about networking. I think networking is so important. I think the most important thing is to remember relationships come first. I see networking as a way to connect, right? It's like a treasure hunt. Every time you show up at a networking event or a party or a Zoom party or a class, it's like a treasure hunt. How can I connect with this person on a level that isn't just about work? Right? I wait for a hint of like something that I can relate to or identify with, or I share something about myself, right? That says to them, like one of I love to tell people I'm a twin. That always opens up an interesting conversation, right? I have a twin brother. I have a brother who's on the spectrum. I have a very interesting personal life. Those are things that can be great conversations and have nothing to do with acting. And I'm now connecting with them, right? And then I know, because I've trained and I've worked on my craft, that when it comes down to it, if I have an audition, I'm going to come in prepared. So they've now met me as a human being and we've connected as a human. And then I can show my skill, and I've bridged this gap between credibility and vulnerability. So be willing to show who you are as a human being. Keep working on those things. Keep working on your mindset, right? Our mind is a computer. If we don't program it, it's going to program itself, and it's not always going to program it towards the positive. So use this time right now to start to intentionally program your mind towards the positive. And I hope that today's 7 mindset tips will help you do that. There's more in the actormindsetreset.com. Come join the Secure Actor Project as well. I can't wait to get to know all of you that were here, and I'm wishing you all an amazing new year. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for these awesome questions. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.